I think I was like 18 when I wrote about a girl. And for me, it was inspired by a story that I had seen play out so many times as a young fella from out being out here in Maroubra. I think it was such an important story that I felt needed to be told. And I was inspired by a lot of different stories of real women that I've known throughout my life. For me, it was about showing where those people come from and showing how, you know, some people get to those destinations, some people get to the place that they're at. And I wanted to take people on that journey. This was one of those songs that I started writing at like midnight and I finished writing, I think, when the sun come up in the morning. When I finished it and I went to sleep, you know, I woke up later that day and I asked my sister, I was like, I've written this song. I was like, can you film me rapping this song? Filmed it that night and I put it on Facebook. Yeah, it was like, that got like 180,000 views. Yeah, I didn't even have a single out or anything at the time. But now I had been sitting on the track for a few years. I think it was like 3 years I'd been sitting on the track. You know, so we knew that we wanted to have a track, have a beat that was original. If there was anyone that could do it, it was Paper Toy, JT. We put a lot of trust in, you know, that they would do it justice because I was very married to this beat. Called Demoitis, is it?
Yeah.
Demoitis.
Yeah.
We had beats sent from JT, from Paper Toy, and they were sick beats, very, very good beats. But for me, it was like about finding the right one. So yeah, this is Paper Toy. Paper Toy, we've worked close with for quite a few years.
And I could feel you, you know, every time we'd send a beat, you could just tell that it wasn't the one. I think I did about 6 versions. JT did heaps. I know all of us really wanted to be the one that got that track. I went in the studio with my mate, this is Magic Nick. He's a guitarist and singer-songwriter. I was kind of like, you know, this is the vibe we want, and I want you to create something like this kind of sample, vocal and guitar sample that I need you to create a bunch. And he did a bunch of different versions, and I picked the one that ended up being. I picked that straight away, and I was like, all right, I'm going to come into the studio and we're going to record that, you know, in high quality because he just done it on his phone. What I did is record this little loop. It's just a little loop, guitar, 2 layers of guitar and vocal sample, and then kind of just recorded that, looped it, and then pitched it up a couple of semitones so it makes it sound like that kind of, I don't know, it's a bit more mysterious or something. It makes it sound like a female vocal as well, but it's actually not.
I thought that was a female for so long.
I did that in like a couple of hours. Like, I'm sure he's going to want this, and I remember you wrote back like almost straight away.
Yeah.
And like I could tell you were like real psyched. So that was a real great experience. Like, for me, but I think what we landed on was like better in the end, which you know obviously I'm real psyched about. But yeah, it was like I said, it was a collaboration.
Just being back here and just like remembering when we shot the video, it was like a different time in my career. Again, didn't really know the impact that this track was going to have. There's so many people that can relate and resonate with so much of that, whether it's, you know, you've seen this stuff in your own household, you know someone that you're very close with and you're watching them go down that path, or you yourself have been down that path, you know. And us as artists, like, we're, you know, speaking about things that mean a lot to us, but still aren't fully aware of the impact it has on someone else. And I think when I do get that feedback and I do hear that from, you know, fans at shows, and I do hear their stories, it reminds me of why I do what I do and why I tell these stories. This story wouldn't have gone gold, it wouldn't have been where it's at now if it wasn't for, you know, so many of my fans, so many of my listeners, so many people that, you know, listen to my music and really get me to where I'm at today.